Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantles, and as you can see from the title of this video, anyone who hasn't been living under a rock for the last few days will know that, tragically and unfortunately, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, has passed away at just over 2 months away from his 100th birthday. So obviously my country is in a state of mourning for the Duke, and the funeral will be happening this Saturday, I believe, at 3. So I'm going to try and watch it if I can. It's a bit hard to come up with anything new to say about him other than everything that I don't want to make just basically repeat everything I hear from TV talking about how like all of the good things that he did, because he's done a lot of good things, but there's documentaries out there that can probably explain his life a lot better than me. He's had a large influence on society over the last almost 70 years of his marriage, which is significant. It's significant of it. Obviously we missed by both his family and the people of the country and all across the Commonwealth. And just a quick note. Okay, so I'll never forget this. I was scrolling through my Facebook that day. It was Friday, yeah. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I noticed something from a church that I follow, a local church of mine. It said that the Duke had died, and it had been posted less than a minute ago. And when I saw that, I immediately checked, and unfortunately he had died. So I went to share it in three groups of mine on Facebook, and so far I've achieved almost like 800 various forms of reactions, likes, loves, crying, caring reactions to all those posts. And I know that not just for popularity sense, but it's because when I saw like all these hundreds of people responding to my posts, I noticed some of them didn't like the prince at all. Like one person called the royal family the largest crime family in the world. Another person said, why should we pray for a heretic like him? And being a moderator in one of those groups, I immediately go to those comments, because regardless of whatever religion he is, he's not quite a head of state, but he's still a significant person, and we should all be praying for him regardless of his religion. It's really stupid, the arguments they bring forward. If people don't want to be held accountable for, you logically can't hold someone accountable for something that happened in the past if they weren't involved in it. Okay, for instance, even though I'm of European descent from a whole bunch of nations, I'm not going to be held accountable for the enslavement of Europe. For the enslavement of Africa and the Americas and everything, because I lived hundreds of years after it actually happened. Okay, you can't hold me accountable for that. It's an illogical position. So who in their right mind would blame the current existing royal family for the destruction of the churches and monasteries of everything, all the Catholics, and setting up of the Anglican Church, and all the murders of the priests and everything going around? Who would logically do that? So when I encounter such haters, it's quite irritating to see them say such crude things about a person who's just died. Because again, regardless of whether that person, whatever the Duke's faith was, or what denomination he was, we should still be praying for him regardless of that. Okay, no one doesn't deserve our prayers. Okay, we should all be praying for everyone regardless. But fortunately, they're still a minority, so the majority of us are still, saying we're praying for this, we're praying for the royal family, we're praying for those who are close to him, we're praying for his rosary soul, which is what we should do as proper Christians, let alone Catholics. And for the second part of the title that you've seen, the reason why I said it that way is because the MyHeritage software that you can use to almost like reanimate the pictures and photos of dead people. Well, I decided what would happen if I tried to do that for the Jesus face on the Shroud of Turin. And believe me, when I saw it animated for the first time, I was, because it was incredible. Obviously, there's a few little things because it's still software, but he looks so incredibly lifelike. It's absolutely incredible. I could literally hold that up to someone and say, "Behold, this is the face of your maker," and I'm sure that they'll probably feel a jolt of electricity through them, not because I'm electrocuting them, but because of just recognizing such a face, such an incredible face. So, Britain and the Commonwealth and hopefully the rest of the world are in a state of mourning for a Duke, the third longest living member of the royal family in history, or the British monarchy in history. We're praying for the repose of his soul. All the haters out there, seriously, can you just please grow up and respect the fact that a truly important man in politics and in the royal family has died, and you should be paying respects to him and offering up prayers for his soul instead of condemning him for actions that happened 500 years ago. And hopefully the funeral will be sunny so that they can have a nice procession. I mean, it's not like a full-length procession around London because of the pandemic, unfortunately, but hopefully there'll be a nice procession. They can get good pictures, and he'll be laid to rest in a temporary place until finally one day his loving wife will be able to join him. And again, we will continue to offer prayers for them regardless of their denomination. And then I've also managed to use a software to reanimate the face of Jesus from the Shroud of Turin. It's an incredible sight. I'm going to put up the video of it at the end of this, so you guys can gaze upon it in all his majesty. And yeah, I mean, I'll be moving back to my city, because obviously I'm at home right now. I'll be moving back to my university accommodation later on this week. I'm finishing a bunch of coursework at this moment in time, so I can't really do too much, but hopefully I'll release the first almost like sit down video on Thursday. I'm still coming with a topic. I think I've got one in my head. I'm going to try and just prepare for that now. Yes, that's it for now. So we're all united in mourning for the loss of a truly influential person, one of the most influential people in this century and the last century. Hope you have a good funeral. Prayers offered up for his family and friends. Enjoy the animated face of Jesus from the Shroud of Turin. That's going to come up in a few seconds, and hopefully next week I'll be able to record normally in my university accommodation.